This week's video is all about expletives, and no, not those kind. Expletives are grammatically empty ways to begin sentences. They aren't wrong, they just don't really mean anything. Common expletives are there is, there are, there was, there were, it is, it was, and it had been. Look at the examples here. There is nothing left to do. There are happy days ahead. It is the dog who needs a bath, and it had been agreed upon that nobody would cheat. None of those examples seems to be too much of a problem. They sound okay and they aren't confusing, so what's the big deal? Well, anytime you can cut out extra words in your writing, you probably should, and using expletives adds unneeded words into your sentence. Additionally, sometimes an expletive can make a sentence unclear, as I'll explain later. And finally, it's generally improper to use expletives in formal writing. That doesn't mean that it's grammatically incorrect to use them, it just means it isn't the preferred style. This is one of those cases where you go with the flow so your writing fits in with what professors expect. To revise the previous examples, all you have to do is rearrange the sentence a bit. So, there is nothing left to do becomes nothing is left to do. These revisions are all similar. There are happy days ahead becomes happy days are ahead. It is the dog who needs a bath becomes the dog needs a bath. But while these may be shorter, they aren't necessarily any clearer. Let's look at our last example. It had been agreed upon that nobody would cheat. In this sentence, who is doing the agreeing? Well, we might answer that question by saying it had been agreed upon by the group that nobody would cheat. But if you've been paying attention, you'll remember from a previous Grammar Buster video that we generally want to avoid passive voice. So we can get rid of our expletive, clarify our sentence, and shorten it by writing instead, the group agreed nobody would cheat. That's been our lesson on expletives. Now, it's time to practice. Open up a document you've previously written for this class, or another class if you'd prefer. Hold down Control on a PC or the Command key on a Mac and then press F. In the window that pops up, try typing in one of our expletives, listed below. If you find any, revise the sentence to get rid of the expletive.